There are two schools of thought on RPGs. The first camp sees the genre in stats and figures as a chance to game the system by stacking bonuses and buffs until everyone's dead and you win the game. These are the players who play Pillars of Eternity 2 on Path of the Damned mode, and who can tell you everything about each character's best abilities at each level when prompted. Then there are the airy-fairy types like me who see RPGs as games about people. Scared by all the imposing numbers and our own inherent incompetence in battle, we'd rather just focus on exploring a little make-believe world and getting to know its inhabitants. We're the sort of people who tell you all about NPCs' daily routines if you'll let us, but we'll restrain ourselves for this video and instead focus on 6 characters from Pillars of Eternity 2 who we just love. These are the humans, gods, and imps with magic amulets that make the whole adventure worthwhile, the ones we really treasure interacting with. And Aloth, if you're watching this, mate, sorry, it's bad news. EDER is the adventurer's adventurer. With that chiseled jaw and those golden locks, he's the kind of effortlessly aspirational character that many players end up designing for their own avatar. Except he's not your avatar, he's EDER. He is, and will always be, more handsome than you. Deal with it. Originally a fighter in Pillars 1, EDER Taeleg, didn't know that was his surname, did you, can be used as a fighter, rogue, or multi-class swashbuckler in this game. In other words, he's brilliant at taking the brunt of enemy damage and dishing out massive DPS. Like those twinkling eyes weren't already enough to endear him to your party. What we like best about EDER though is his incredibly laid-back disposition. Considering the things we've put him through, we'd expect him to be a little bit less sanguine when another almost impossible boss fight rears its head, but no, EDER takes a puff on his white leaf pipe, spouts a dry joke, and gets to work with his blade.
I sat down with them and we had a friendly negotiation.
A pick from the Beast of Winter DLC now, and it's everyone's favourite false prophet and leather mask enthusiast, VATNIR. We like him even though in many ways he's the anti-EDER. EDER's rugged, handsome, chilled out and honest. VATNIR? Well, VATNIR's not. He's been telling porkies to the denizens of Harbinger's Watch, who look to him for insights about the doings of their god Remagand. And you can see why they would. VATNIR is an endings godlike, a particularly rare species which is inexorably linked to the god of endings himself. Here's where the writing gets clever though. VATNIR isn't really a devotee of Remagand, nor does he have any special information from the god to share with them. He's just making the most of being different, leveraging what would otherwise be an alienating difference, look at where his eyes are for crying out loud, and turning them into a mark of status. Mechanically, he's an interesting build who becomes stronger as his health diminishes, so for micromanagement fans he offers a unique challenge. But we just like the fact that he's joining our party out of guilt and shame more than anything, having been found out as a fraud.
I revealed only that which was revealed to me.
Our next favourite character isn't a companion per se, but we like to think of him as part of our party just the same. He's really more of a god turned party pet than anything, and even though he doesn't have the depth of romance options of the likes of Sota, he's... Yes, alright, it's NEMNOK. Flippin' NEMNOK. If you watched our video about amazing side quests in Pillars 2, you'll already be familiar with him. He had a whole island of people convinced he was a god. He'll have something to talk about with VATNIR at least then. Until you turned up, fought him, broke his magic amulet, and revealed him to be nothing more than an imp with big ambitions. The magic in NEMNOK's writing is that you like him anyway, even though he ate the NPCs you were supposed to save, even though he grovels pathetically when you beat him. There's just enough likability in his woolly thinking and shrill insults that you keep him around.
Shiza, you bow to NEMNOK! Do it now!
You don't need us to tell you that Maya's dutiful, light-hearted, pro-Rauatai and resourceful. You know that already because if you spend any amount of time with her in your party, she's slapped her personality all over your game. The odd aside here, a reaction to your dialogue choices there. She's a fantastic example of subtle character writing in Pillars 2, a three-dimensional person who establishes herself even before any lengthy character quests. However, if and when you do indulge her character quest, entitled The Courier's Calling, things get really complex. We'll definitely sidestep any spoilers here because that's not our style, but suffice to say expectations are subverted, relationships tested, and allegiances questioned. And if you start the quest while you're in a relationship with Maya, well, Jerry Springer wants to hear from you. Jerry Springer's still a contemporary cultural reference, right? Yes, he is. Really, we want to include all the gods in the Pillars universe for this entry, but look at the timeline, we're nearly out of video. So we'll just talk about our personal favourite, BERATH. Why BERATH, and not a real big hitter like Woodaka or Aethus, who has a starring role in Pillars 2? Well, BERATH's the god of doorways, and we like the symbolism of that. Death isn't the end with BERATH presiding over it, it's just a transition into another form of being. Returning to the wheel, the peaceful, comforting sounding wheel. Nothing to be scared of there. Okay, you've got us. That's not really why we love BERATH. It's the fact that they're really two unsettling people at once. The Pallid Knight, all lofty and mercurial in her suit of armour, hair wafting about the place, and this chap, the usher with a face like a prize-winning vegetable at Village Fete. There's something indescribably cool about this duality, and it's explored with a soft touch throughout Pillars 2. From the unsettling start to your later dealings with BERATH, each encounter is a brush with a world just beyond your full comprehension. Last up is an NPC who embodies the spirit of Pillars 2. He's a charming but ruthless pirate, a shrewd businessman who sails by his own moral compass, or let's face it, totally amoral compass, and wears one of the best hats in the entire archipelago. Please give a big hand to Captain FURRANTE. It isn't just that FURRANTE's accent is wonderful, although it definitely is, or that his little Valian flourishes subtly teach you an invented language, although yes, that is a contributing factor too.
Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation.
It's the complexity of the man. As a principy pirate and slaver, he should by all rights be your sworn enemy, but where his mates like Benworth see only a troublesome adventurer to be stamped out, FURRANTE sees an opportunity. In his eyes, you're an asset. It also helps that the Cap always seems to be involved in the game's most entertaining quests. He's the catalyst behind the amazing assassination mission Blow the Man Down, and if you deal with him further, he'll set you off hunting for a genuine, bona fide ghost ship. Agrasima, amigo.
Gelarde, I will be waiting.
That wraps up our 6 favourite characters. Now the floor's open to you to tell us about yours. Someone choose Aloth, he's looking awfully glum in the corner there. Leave your thoughts in the comments, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel for more Pillars of Eternity 2 videos every week. We'll catch you next time.
Join our circle.